Have you ever been in the middle of a conversation and noticed how some guys can instantly capture someone's full attention with just a few words, or even a subtle shift in their demeanor? It's as if people naturally lean in when they speak, drawn to something they can't quite explain. Meanwhile, others, despite being genuine, kind, and capable, struggle to spark that same engagement no matter how hard they try. What most people don't realize is that this kind of magnetism isn't based on being loud, charming, or naturally outgoing. It comes from specific psychological patterns in the way certain men carry themselves, respond to others, and create emotional presence. Charisma isn't a birthright. It's a learned skill rooted in behaviors that make people feel understood, valued, and connected. Let me start with something that might surprise you. The most charismatic people aren't necessarily the most talkative or outgoing. In fact, some of the most magnetic individuals are excellent listeners who make others feel truly heard and understood. This is your first major insight into developing authentic charisma. When you shift your focus from trying to impress others to genuinely connecting with them, something powerful happens in the dynamic between you and the people around you. Think about the last time someone gave you their complete undivided attention. How did that make you feel? Probably pretty good, right? That's because we live in an age of constant distraction where genuine attention has become incredibly rare and therefore valuable. When you master the art of being fully present with another person, you immediately set yourself apart from 90% of other men who are either distracted by their phones or thinking about what they're going to say next instead of actually listening. But presence is just the foundation. Let's talk about the vocal elements that contribute to charisma. Your voice carries more weight and attraction than you might realize. Women are subconsciously attracted to deeper, more resonant voices because they signal confidence and emotional stability. But here's the key point that most guys miss completely. It's not about artificially lowering your voice to sound like Batman. It's about speaking from your chest rather than your throat and learning to control your pace and rhythm. Charismatic speakers tend to vary their vocal patterns. They speed up during exciting parts of a story and slow down to emphasize important points. They use strategic pauses that create anticipation and draw people in. They modulate their volume not by shouting, but by knowing when to speak softly, so others have to lean in to hear them. These are all learnable skills that will dramatically improve how others perceive and respond to you. Now let's address body language, because this is where most men either completely nail it or completely sabotage themselves without even realizing it. Charismatic body language isn't about taking up space aggressively or trying to look tough. It's about moving with intention and purpose. When you walk into a room, do you scan around nervously looking for validation, or do you move deliberately toward your destination? When you're talking to someone, are you fidgeting and shifting your weight, or are you grounded and stable? Here's a specific technique that will immediately upgrade your physical presence. Before entering any social situation, take 30 seconds to check in with your body. Relax your shoulders, uncross your arms, lift your chest slightly, and imagine a string pulling gently upward from the top of your head. This simple posture adjustment sends signals of confidence both to others and to your own nervous system. Eye contact deserves special attention because it's simultaneously the most powerful tool for building connection and the area where most men struggle the most. The key is finding the sweet spot between intense staring and nervous avoidance. Good eye contact feels like a conversation in itself. You look at someone when they're speaking to show you're listening. You look away occasionally to process what they've said and to avoid making them uncomfortable. When you're speaking, you make eye contact to emphasize important points and to gauge their reaction. But charisma goes far beyond just the technical aspects of communication. The most magnetic people have developed what psychologists call emotional intelligence. They can read the room and adjust their energy accordingly. They know when to be playful and when to be serious. They can sense when someone needs encouragement and when they need to be challenged. This kind of social awareness comes from practice and from genuinely caring about the people you interact with. Let's talk about storytelling, because this is where charismatic people really shine. Humans are wired to respond to stories. We remember stories far better than facts or abstract concepts. When you learn to tell engaging stories about your experiences, you become infinitely more interesting and memorable. But here's the crucial part that separates good storytellers from boring ones. The best stories aren't about you trying to impress anyone. They're about sharing experiences that create emotional resonance with your audience. A charismatic storyteller doesn't just recount events. They paint pictures with words. They include sensory details that help listeners feel like they were there. They build tension and release it at the right moments. They know how to use their voice and body language to enhance the narrative. Most importantly, they choose stories that reveal something meaningful about their character, rather than just showing off their accomplishments. Humor is another essential component of charisma, but it needs to be wielded carefully. The kind of humor that builds attraction isn't about telling jokes or trying to be the class clown. It's about finding lightness in everyday situations and helping others see the amusing side of life. Here's something that might challenge your current thinking about attraction. Charismatic people aren't afraid of disagreement or conflict. They have opinions and they're willing to express them respectfully. This doesn't mean being argumentative or confrontational. It means having the backbone to stand for something rather than agreeing with everything someone says, because you think that's what they want to hear. Women are attracted to men who have their own thoughts and values, not to people pleasers who bend themselves into whatever shape they think will be most appealing. The concept of emotional availability plays a huge role in charisma that most men completely overlook. Being emotionally available means you're in touch with your own feelings and comfortable expressing them appropriately. It means you can handle other people's emotions without getting defensive or trying to fix everything immediately. Women find this incredibly attractive because it signals emotional maturity and the potential for deep connection. Let me share something about authenticity that might surprise you. Authentic charisma isn't about being yourself in some raw, unfiltered way. It's about being the best version of yourself. It's about understanding your natural personality and amplifying the positive aspects while working on the areas that might be holding you back. You don't have to completely change who you are, but you do need to be willing to grow and evolve. Social confidence is built through experience, not through theory. The more you put yourself in social situations and practice these skills, the more natural they become. Start small if you need to. Practice making genuine compliments to strangers. Work on maintaining eye contact during conversations. Focus on asking better questions that show you're interested in learning about others rather than just waiting for your turn to talk. One of the most attractive qualities you can develop is the ability to make others feel good about themselves. Charismatic people are generous with their attention and appreciation. They notice things about others that might go unrecognized. They celebrate other people's successes genuinely. They offer encouragement when it's needed. This isn't about flattery or manipulation. It's about developing a genuine interest in helping others feel valued and understood. Energy management is crucial for sustained charisma. You can't be magnetic if you're exhausted, stressed, or emotionally drained. Take care of your physical health through regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate sleep. Develop practices that help you manage stress and maintain emotional equilibrium. When you feel good internally, it radiates outward and affects how others perceive and respond to you. The journey to developing authentic charisma requires patience and self-compassion. You're going to have awkward moments and conversations that don't go as planned. That's part of the learning process. The key is to approach social interactions with curiosity rather than judgment. Instead of beating yourself up when something doesn't work out, ask yourself what you can learn from the experience and how you can improve next time. Remember that charisma isn't about manipulation or trying to get something from others. It's about creating genuine connections and positive experiences for everyone involved. When your motivation comes from a place of wanting to contribute value to others' lives rather than just trying to get what you want, people can sense that authenticity, and they're naturally drawn to it. The most charismatic people understand that attraction isn't just about romantic connections. It's about building meaningful relationships with all kinds of people. When you focus on developing these skills across all areas of your life, you'll find that not only do you become more attractive to women, but you also build better friendships, advance more quickly in your career, and generally enjoy richer, more fulfilling social experiences. Your transformation into a more charismatic version of yourself starts today with small, intentional changes in how you show up in the world. Focus on being more present in your conversations. Work on your posture and eye contact. Practice telling better stories. Learn to listen more effectively. Develop your emotional intelligence and social awareness. Most importantly, commit to being genuinely interested in and care about the people you meet. The path to authentic charisma isn't about becoming someone else. It's about uncovering and developing the magnetic qualities that already exist within you. Start implementing these strategies today and watch how dramatically your social interactions begin to improve. If this video helped you understand what real charisma looks like, make sure to subscribe for more content on building authentic confidence and attraction. Your journey to becoming the man that women can't resist starts now.